Keith, Cage's Garage. I'm going to show you a little home improvement tip. If you have these bull nose corners, round edges, how do you trim it out with these baseboards here? So, don't mind this wall. It's even worse on the other side. It goes in. What happens is, you'll see in my wall video, when you do the bull nose, it comes out a little bit. It's not like it won't be square, so it goes in right here. And you're supposed to fill it up with drywall compound. This side, they did not do a good job. I can feel it. And actually, they barely put any texture on this side. Anyway, that's a different story. But they did use metal bullnose. So we're talking about the baseboards here. How do you do this? So I watched online, and then the guy's like, "Oh, you just do it like this, and real easy." First thing you need to do, I'm going to show you on this side. This is the finished product. Almost. I have to trim it a little bit. Right here, it looks a little weird. I'm just going to shave it down and put some caulk in there. I'm not a professional carpenter, so this is just me doing it at my house. doing the best I can. So let me show you over here where it's not done. What you do, one tip I did take from the YouTube video was you make a bunch of these, however many corners you have. So those would go on a corner. You want this corner, the smaller one, to be about 3/4 of an inch. I don't know if I can show it. Gosh. Anyway, it's about 3/4 of an inch. So you cut yourself some of these. I'll show you how to cut these in a second. And get them there. And then, the problem is you have to figure out the angle, how this angle works, and you can't really do that without having the other piece of wood come in here. So let me show you over here. You have the little corners cut out already. I would almost get a piece of scrap wood and have it cut like this, just to get where you think it's going to line up, and then get this whole piece made. So you'd have the corner, whatever the distance is here, and then here. This is an extra thick wall. This is a supporting wall. It's a mobile home, so it's 2x4 here, another 2x4 here, with a space in the middle. I noticed because I did the wall in the other room. So once you get that piece done, and you have your little scrap piece cut, you can figure out, problem was what happened over here was I drew a line here and here where you think this ends up, and then you put this here, and that whatever that distance is, and it doesn't line up. And then if I line them up, you can't get a piece of wood here. So like this wood would come over here, and it doesn't line up. So this would have to be over here. So actually, if you do that, let that sit there, and take the same piece of wood. This is your scrap wood. Put it here, and then measure in between. I'm knocking it over. It's like 6.5. So let's see the width of this. And then you gotta get the width on the inside, which is another pain in the neck. It's not 6.5, it's 6. With the outside. Outsides. So I probably need a piece that's 6.5. But what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna get this how I want it. I want this how I want it. Okay, where this hits, and this lines up nice. Okay, that looks good. And now I'm going to measure from the wall, from wherever, you know, wherever it goes back there, to the inside up there, which is 24. So the inside of right here is 24. So I need a piece of wood like this, 24. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it a little bit longer and come back and cut it. So I'm going to write 24 down. Okay, let's go cut the wood. Okay, so what we have here is a compound miter saw, which means it does a whole bunch of different angles. You can move this thing this way, back, and you can also go this way. So I can, what you want to do is, oh, so the angle, you can't do 45-degree angles when you're cutting them. So these angles are 22.5, which is half of 45, right? So this is the angle I want for that one piece of wood. So it's easy. I already have like a template made. So you can see, like, when this blade comes down, it's going to cut that angle. So we're good. And now I'm just going to cut it. Alright, so now I have that angle I need. So now I just need the length, which I measured from the inside, remember? Okay, see, the problem is it's hard to get because of the angle. Alright, 24. 24 is right here. I'm going to go a little bit longer because I can shorten it. And this is going to be a straight cut. Okay. And straight cut. All right, so there we go. Here's our cut piece. With the wall, it's not even. So you can see it's a little bit, that's how it lines up perfectly, but it's a little bit off. It should, I don't know, I expected it to be because I cut it a little bit longer. So I'm going to do trial and error. I'm not going to go like this. Maybe I can do like this. Yeah, here we go. This, luckily, this is the same as that height over there. This board is the same as that board back there. Put it like this. Put it where I want it to go. I'm going to take my pencil. I go back here. So I went back there and I marked, yeah, and I marked how much has come off. So let me go cut this off. This is just a straight cut. I'm just going to do a straight cut on here, come back, and this should fit nicely here. Okay, there we go. It is almost perfect. There's a little bump right here I got to take off. It's pushing it out. But I don't think, here's a beauty. I can push it to where I think it looks good, right there. And that looks fine. This little piece of wood will be able to go in further, and there's not that much gap in the back. I don't know if you can tell. Caulk will fill that in, but it's very almost perfect. So there's that piece. All right, so now I'm gonna take the scrap piece, put it here, match just like the other side. Match this up to where I think it looks good. And I'll measure that, 24.5. I'm going to show you how to make these pieces too. All right, how do you make these pieces? If your saw can go rotate this to the 22 this way and 22 this way and a half this way, it's easy. You can just go 22, cut there, come back, 22, you know, move this down 3/4 of an inch and cut here, boom, and you'll have this. If you don't, if it only goes one way, usually they go to the left, and you want this piece. So you have to make sure. So this is the painted side. I want to cut this. So if I do that, that is cutting the wrong way. What you can do is flip it over. Painted side is against here now. You can cut it, flip it back over, and now you have that angle, right? You have that angle, and then you just measure 3/4 of an inch, whatever that might be. You know, you would measure it, mark it, and then just, you don't even have to touch the saw. Actually, it helps. You have I have the little laser light, and now you cut this way, and then you get your piece right here. I think I went a little bit too fast. Didn't have it. looks thinner here than up here. Yeah, I definitely messed it up. But that's just to show you how to make these little 3/4 and 3/4 inch corners. I have it all mocked up. I don't know why. See, I marked lines here and there, and that distance should be here. I don't know why that didn't work. 6, and that's 6.5. I'm gonna go cut a piece like this that's a little bit bigger than 6.5 on this, on the inside here, and come see if it fits this, and put about 22.5 there. I measured 6. This is actually 6 3/4 from here to here. I just put a line saying that's how I want my cut to be. It's a little bit easier with the laser because you can see where it's going to cut. So I can put that right, I can put the laser, you see it, right at the inside line, and I'll cut it. All right, so let me cut this. And if I did it right, this should be about 6 3/4. That's what I tried to do. It's about 6.5. Holy cow. 6 3/4 is to the other edge. Did I screw it up again? Anyway, I think I got the piece. I don't know what the deal is. The way it cuts, I measured on the full piece from the edge to 7. So I measured from here to there at 7, and I cut it, and it's 6 3/4. So that's what I'm gonna go with for now. I'm gonna go a 1/4 inch more than I think I need. I'm gonna go put this in there. I'm gonna have to trim it again, but that's fine. I'll trim it, and then I'll just keep trimming it until it fits perfect. All right, so here we go. I had to trim it another 2 times. Probably took like 1/8 of an inch off, and it's fitting pretty good. All I have to do now is let's come in here and nail it in and caulk it. I will show you, well, I'm not going to show you that stuff. All I do is just nail it in. I've seen other people on YouTube that glue these together, all these 3 pieces right here. I'm just going to nail it. I nailed it on the other side, it's fine. And then I'm going to trim it. I'll probably have to trim some of it and then caulk it up, and I think it'll look real nice. But that's it for now. I'll come back and I'll show you the finished when I have it all caulked up. So here you go. Finished product, kind of, I guess. It's still drying. So I caulked it all up. And I'm gonna go back, when we paint this, we'll paint the trim. So I think it's gonna look pretty good. Here's the other side. Yeah, see, we need to paint it because you can see the wood still, right? But I think once we paint it, it's gonna look all right. This is what I used to caulk around there, and then I got this little tool here. You put it in the corner and smooth out the caulk, make a nice caulk line. So that's what I have. If you go in my store, you can see this stuff. I have it in my store. There's a link in the description below. I can also put a link directly to these if you want to get them. It's all from Amazon. Anyway, like I said, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. If you like the video, go ahead and hit the like button, and I appreciate it. I'll talk to you later. See ya. Bye.